Evergreen Park Mustang football team 3-1 after a tough loss this past weekend, but homecoming on the way, and the head coach, Jim Ramazinski, down here with us once again. How are you, Coach?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. I saw the results to this game. I didn't attend, but I saw the results. I read up on it. I was a little surprised, I got to tell you, because I've had you in here talking about your team. I had your predecessor in here, and even back in my radio days, I've spoken with coaches at the collegiate level as they got ready for games. You didn't seem to have false confidence about this game. I feel like you really like your team, and this was a surprising loss for you. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, we go into every game with a game plan, and it's with us to have obviously put our players in position to win the game. And game started, we had a nice offensive series to start the game, got downfield, did not punch it in the end zone. And, those are chances right there that we kind of missed out on, where we drive all the way down to the red zone, don't get a score. We end up giving up a field goal to Shepherd on their first drive. And then unfortunately, we started turning the ball over. Shepherd ended up scoring a defensive touchdown, and, we ended up going down 17-0 into halftime. And, the truth is, like, if you watch all levels of football, this is nothing new. Everybody knows this. We didn't force any turnovers. We had multiple turnovers. We had multiple turnovers in bad spots that led to strong field position for Shepherd, as well as, like I said, a defensive touchdown. And, Shepherd's record was not great coming in.
They were 0-3.
Yeah, but they also, they got some players back from injury, and they played a tough schedule. And I mean, they played well. There's nothing else you could say. They played well. We did not play well. And when you go down early, it's kind of hard to get back into it, especially throughout the game, losing a player here and there. It was a tough night for us.
This past weekend, I'm watching one of my fantasy football running backs cough up a football. And immediately I thought to myself, well, now he's going to get benched. And instead, his coach went right back to him. After a turnover, what's your philosophy when it comes to that? I mean, do you try to go right back to a similar play because you want to teach him, like, things happen, let's keep moving? Or do you, at that point, feel like I got to give this kid a break for a moment and go in another direction, not give him the ball for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's player to player, it's situation to situation, of course. But, like, the reality is, we're trying to teach our boys resiliency. We're trying to teach them how to continue when tough times are come. So, we got to give them the ball back. We got to make sure that they're ready to go. But this happens once in a while, where you go out and a lot of things go wrong for you right away. Turnovers. It's a 4th down and 20 in, I think, near the end of the first quarter or start of second quarter. I should have the timing down, but I can't remember right now. But either way, 4th and 20, we get a pass breakup in the end zone, to force a turnover on downs. But instead, we tip it into the air and right into a Shepherd's receiver's hands.
Oh.
And that's football, though. Like, we put ourselves in bad spots, and not one roll came to us that night. But you can't rely on, having refs bail you out or luck bail you out. And sometimes luck goes the other way, like in that particular play. Not saying Shepherd played a great game. I'm not saying that their whole performance was based on luck. But nothing fell our way, and we have to be better about responding to those situations.
Yeah, because sometimes it doesn't go your way. So how do you weigh your efforts into either trying to show a lot of film and saying, here are the things that we did wrong and this is what needs to be corrected, against the idea of, let's put that in our back pocket, it's over, and focus on the next week? Like, where's the balance?
You have to watch the film because, like, I'm looking, I watch our film right away, Friday night, Saturday morning, whatever it is. We all meet with the coaches for hours on Saturdays to go over game plan. And then, of course, we have the boys watch the film, and we watch it with them as well. And, like, the thing about it is, like, you watch the film and you see, hey, if we're just a little bit better on the edge here, a little bit better in these spots, Now this drive is stopped, and it's a 17-7 ball game at this point. Maybe we can get a stop here and get it going. But we just we had a hard time putting drives together, and then near the end of the game, defense wasn't playing. We were giving up first downs, letting them kill the clock, and tough games happen. How you respond to tough games dictates what type of team you are. We came back to practice, and you could see it a little bit early on in practices. Everybody's a little bit flustered, and they're a little bit, you're riding high 3-0, and then you get punched in the mouth. It's a tough thing to take, but I'm proud of our team and how they've responded this week at practice. I know they're doing everything they can to continue to prepare for Revis, and we're excited to play on Friday night.
Anybody you want to mention from the game? I know it was a loss, but I know you got guys that are playing hard for you.
Tyler Phelps. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing I did say to the guys. I'm watching our fourth quarter, 5 minutes left in the game, where at this point the game is out of reach, but we got guys playing very hard, and that says a lot about their character. They're really finishing the game strong. I've never had an issue with our players not playing hard, and I'm proud of them for that. But they know they got to execute better. They know they got to make some things right, and that's what happens. You have a team to support you. You have coaches to support you, and also keep you on task and make sure that we're continuing to move forward.
So Tyler Phelps, some other guys?
Sorry. Tyler Phelps came in at quarterback in the second quarter, threw a touchdown pass to Amarion Evans, who has been able to reach the end zone in every game so far. Defensively, we were led by Gavin Wheeler, junior linebacker. He had 11 tackles. And Alberto Aranda, senior defensive lineman, continues to have a great season, 8 tackles and a sack. And like I said, there were some positives, but nobody feels great after a loss. And again, you have to just continue to work hard and continue to work with your teammates and respond well.
Okay, homecoming week. Let's move on to that. And one of the things that I noticed about your opponent Revis and you, the difference between the two of them. And this is just from a person that probably knows like just a thimble's worth about the opponents compared to you. But what I've noticed is you're 3-1. And Ag School, you play them the first time, you are their only loss. Longwood, you are their only loss. You beat Tinley Park, they're having a rough year, but the teams you've played are not teams that are bad necessarily. They're actually winning more games than they're losing. Revis has several wins against teams that haven't found a win all season yet. And they had one tough matchup, I believe, against Shepherd, and they lost that one. And it wasn't Shepherd. Richards. It was Richards. They play Richards, and Richards is always perennially a really good team. When we get to Richards, we'll be talking about that for sure. Okay, so as you walk into this, I would sit there and say Evergreen Park took a loss. They've got the same record, but they're playing much tougher competition. So I would feel supremely confident. How do you feel walking into this game?
Well, Revis is always a big physical team. They got physical players. They're going to be tough, just like they always are. I mean, we beat them last year, but it was it was a tough game. It came down to the wire. They're well coached. Tim Cesada does a great job with them. They have a great coaching staff. Jim McDonough's over there, a guy I worked with years ago. And their record. They beat some teams that aren't off to a good start, but they did play Richards fairly tough.
Okay.
So we can't take anything lightly. And we got to look at ourselves in the mirror too. Yes, they're 3-1, but so are we. We're coming off a tough loss. They're coming off a big win. So
momentum's right. Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at. I talk about how mental this game is, and I think this week is going to challenge us mentally because of the fact that we coming off a loss. Practice is a little bit different this week. We're addressing some things, making some changes, and again, proud of the boys because they're embracing the work. Our coaches are embracing the work.
And you have the distraction of homecoming, which is something that I would think sometimes a road team benefits from because there's so many things going on for the home team.
Yeah, I mean, is it a distraction? Yes, but like I'm not. I want the kids to have fun at homecoming too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like I want them to enjoy their time. Especially seniors, juniors that limited chances to do things like this going forward. So no, we're happy that it's homecoming week. The school, so far this week has been great atmosphere in the school. We have a pep rally coming up. We're very excited about the week, but at the same time, I think our guys understand, hey, all this fun stuff is great, but we want to make sure we're focused for the game as well.
And I know over at the school they've got Fan Fest.
Yeah.
Amy Kazin was in here talking about it just recently. You can go check that out on the EP podcast feed or on the YouTube channel. There's video of it. But a big festival happening on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say 3:30 to 5, 3:30.
Yeah, it starts
up near the game time.
Pretty much right after school. So shortly after, 3:15, 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And then 3:30. And then it's going up until pretty much the varsity game starts, maybe 5:30, like you said.
Big street fest. I mean, like the idea, you got food trucks and you've got things for kids and you've got, there's music playing and like this is it's almost its own separate thing. It sounds like it's growing into, like the game is like the big cherry on top after a big party for a couple hours beforehand.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't attend it last year because I'm in the locker room.
Yeah, you got to get ready.
But I know, I heard very positive feedback about it from a lot of people. And I think it's a great event for the community to come together, celebrate homecoming week at the high school, go catch a football game on Friday night. You're going to see a ton of families there. I know my wife, Jane, brought our kids there last year. They had a good time. And we just love seeing the families out there having fun, supporting the school, and we hope to see a lot of people.
Like all the games are meant for everybody in Evergreen Park, of course. And I always try to stress that, like, Evergreen Park Mustangs, this is your hometown team. You don't necessarily have to have a kid that's going to the school to go and enjoy these events. But this festival really shines a spotlight on that because it's a big community party. Just like we got Oktoberfest coming up for Evergreen Park on October the 4th over by Klein Park, this is another big event that's not just high school. This is really for everybody in the area.
Definitely. And, you have local sponsors helping out with it. You have, obviously, our students are helping with it. Our coaches and sponsors for clubs are going to be out there. There's a lot of opportunity to connect with other people in the community and have some fun leading up to a football game.
All right. Spend Friday afternoon over there all day long at the high school. And then at the end of the party, you've got the game. And as you prep for this game, what's the number one thing you're telling your kids going through homecoming week? Is it something that's based upon focus? Is it something based upon the team that you're running into? Is it something trying to remind them, hey, we took a loss, but we're still a good team? Like, what is your message this week to them?
Well, it's not much different than what we always talk about. You have to be consistent. You have to have high effort. You have to have high energy. And then when you do those things, the execution piece should come with it. So maintain focus, have some fun during homecoming, but don't get too caught up in everything. Just, this is part of life, balancing fun with work. And we all do it as adults, and they'll get a little taste of it this week.
Awesome. Fan Fest and then homecoming. It's going to be a big night over at Evergreen Park Community High School here on Friday, the 26th. 6 p.m. is game time. Fan Fest beforehand. Coach, good luck this weekend.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, I live in town, so I see a lot of people pretty much talk about Evergreen Park football, or they bring it up a lot of times.
Oh, if I saw you, I'd be like, hey, let's talk football.
Yes.
I don't know what else we would talk about.
I just, I've been very blessed to have so many positive interactions with people in our community about our school, about our team. So the community has shown a lot of great support, and we appreciate that. I know we get a lot of support as coaches from our spouses, from our families, because we're never home at this time. And I just want to give a shout out to all the spouses of our coaches and my wife, Jane. They do a lot of things to help us behind the scene. My wife helps out a lot behind the scene. And, along with that support and the community support, we are very much appreciative of everybody helping us out and rooting for us. So thank you to everyone for that.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend, Coach.
All right, you too. Have a good one.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.